Hey guys, I'm back. I've had a really rough time with videos. You noticed I put hardly anything up over the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Camera problems that are my fault. I messed with stuff I shouldn't have messed with. But here we are. Now, I got some fuzz. Instead of doing a budget-friendly Friday, because I'm just not prepared for it because of the issues, we're doing something a little different. I want to talk about one of the best EDC knives that Kershaw ever made that they, without real good reason, just discontinued. And Kershaw, I'm asking you to bring back the Echelon. And we're going to talk about this knife. So let's talk about the Kershaw Echelon, which is a knife that Kershaw put out in 2008. Now, I first got my hands on this in, I believe, 2012, which is when I began my obsession with Jade G10 knives. Now, it was not exactly budget friendly. I can't remember the exact price I paid. It was over $50. It uses the speed safe system. It's a liner lock, as you can see, but what was really cool for me at the time was the G10 scales were thin enough that you can, and it's the Ghost G10, you can actually see the speed safe spring compressing as it works. You can see those small inset steel liners that it uses. It's a very minimalist knife. It's a fantastic EDC knife because it's made of really good EDC, steel. It's very small. I shouldn't say very small. It's not a huge knife. It's EDC size is what I should say, but it's narrow. It's slim, and it's very lightweight. And it comes with a deep carry clip, and it's reversible left or right. This was, I think, to me, of all the EDC knives that I've carried, and when I say EDC knives, I mean a knife that is intended for EDC use, not it's a knife that is, a large frame, hard use knife that I choose to carry in an EDC way. But I mean, this was made for your everyday pocket carry, and I just absolutely love it. And so the steel, okay, so let's talk about the specs on this thing. So it's got a 3-inch blade. It's made of, this was my first foray into Sandvik steel, 14C28N, which, like I said, for EDC, that's great steel. I mean, it's a great balance of corrosion resistance and edge retention. It's not gonna be like a really super hard edge holding steel. It's not going to be a super corrosion resistant, in salt water and, in survival uses in wetlands, corrosion resistant type steel. But for your everyday carry and work, it's really, really good. So the blade is a hollow grind, which makes it great for general slicing and everyday tasks. As you can see, no serrations, nice fine edge, has a little bit of curve to the belly. Very nice blade shape. Drop point, technically, but even though it looks a little different. Doesn't have any jimping, which, I would like, but great thumb ramp to hold your thumb. The only complaint I would have about this knife is that it could use a little bit more ergonomic kind of grip, maybe a little choil in there or something, but very, very comfortable overall. The way that the G10 is done here, first of all, the machining on this is phenomenal. It is perfectly smooth in these areas, and then you have a very, very lightweight. What is it? I can't remember how they. I know there's medium, and I can't remember what the other two grades are, but it's very light textured G10. Maybe they could have gone with like the medium weight texturing. But anyway, really nicely done. So 7.125 inches overall. Again, lightweight, 3 ounces. And I swear in your hand it would feel much smaller than that. Now, I actually haven't carried it around a whole lot because, as I constantly get new knives in, I'm like excited for the next one. But you can see this one's been used a little bit. And as I was discovering it, again, going through stuff in my storage unit, I was like, wow, I got to put this thing back in my pocket. And it's been in my pocket for about 2 weeks, and nothing else has been. I love Kershaw. I love the speed safe system. It's my favorite spring assist system. It's very simple. It's not too hard to operate one-handed, to put it back in to its closed position. And it is just, it's also not so strong that it feels like the knife wants to flip out of your hand. It's a really just perfectly tuned spring. You've got flow through design so that, you know, if it's in your pocket and you got lint or whatever else, it's really easy to keep this thing nice and clean and functional. Clip has just the right amount of retention. It is as close to a perfect EDC knife as I can think of without me like designing one from scratch myself. So the question is, Kershaw, why did you discontinue this knife? I know some people are going to say, well, they've got to cut down on the line. They've got to, you know, stop some lines so they can make new stuff. I get that, granted, but the link, and I can't, oh man, I had the name in my head. The little skinny one, the link, the blur, but I'm still thinking of something else. And I can't think of it. And if I think about it and I care enough, I'll come back and I'll put it in text. It's the little tiny skinny one that they've been making. Though that's been in production for years and years and years and years and years. And they still manage to keep that in production and yet make new knives all the time. The Leak, that's what I'm thinking of, the Kershaw Leak. So those can remain in production and they still have the capability to design new knives and put new knives into the lineup. So you can't tell me that they had to discontinue it to bring up new models. I just don't understand. This is just I don't have enough good superlative words to use to describe how happy I am with this as an EDC knife. I wouldn't go so far as to say it could be like a gentleman's folder. It is very, like I said, very slim, very lightweight, could fit neatly into any pocket, in a suit pocket, you know, inside. I think a gentleman's folder, we want it to look a little bit more flashy, a little bit more slim, not just in width, but in height as well. But I mean, it's nice looking. I mean, I could see how somebody would maybe want to carry it for that purpose. It's also got a great sound. You hear that when it deploys, you know? I love it. So I cannot understand why this was discontinued. And if you try to find it on eBay now, you know, you can. It's ridiculous price for what you're getting, honestly. I'm tempted to pay the price anyway, just to have another one. But I love this knife. And I just don't get it. Why, Kershaw? Why? I'm going to tag Kershaw in this video. I tagged them once on Instagram. Not that I expect Kershaw to like pay attention to me and answer me when I say like, why did you discontinue this thing? But it'd be great. It would be so super cool if somebody from Kershaw said, you know, we had reasons and here they are. I don't think we're going to get any reply, but this is one of the perfect EDC knives in the production knife world to me. And I'm so glad I have one. And if any of you have the opportunity to get your hands on one, you should. Don't break the bank doing it, but it's an excellent knife. It is one of, if not Kershaw's best EDC offerings out there. So, if you own an Echelon, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you think it is like basically one of Kershaw's best EDC knives out there? Or do you think I'm totally off base? Do you think I'm crazy? And here's why, and let me know. And if you don't have one, maybe you never heard of it before, maybe you saw it once or twice and you were on the fence, whatever, you know, do you kind of wish you had one? Like if you had the opportunity, would you grab one for, again, a decent price, not something crazy on eBay that people want? Let me know. Let's talk about this. And I'm going to really try. I'm going to get a lot of good uploads going this week now that I fixed the stupid audio problem that I myself caused with the camera. So anyway, I love to hear your thoughts on the Echelon and the idea of just discontinuing really good knives. Thanks for spending a little bit more time with me. Remember that you guys are all absolutely awesome, and I appreciate every single one of you. And I'll be back again real soon.